Hello, everyone. Welcome. And thank you for joining the Guru Mama. And I know my face might be a little red. And that has to do, I had a facial the other day. Yeah, I know. Pamper myself, right? Pamper myself, right? So there we go. There we go. So smoothing on into the evening. That's what we are. We're just smoothing on, smoothing. That's my word, is smoothing. Smoothing. So welcome. Thank you everyone for joining me, and thank you for watching the replay. Um, yeah, it's pretty nutty out there. Just have to say, pretty nutty out there. A lot of people have there's a lot of extra energies that are just going crazy. Now, a few things that have happened to, we had, I guess, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter were down. Um, I didn't notice because I'm not on them during the day, but uh, I guess mainly in the States, they were down. And I know a few, um, like I know the Leo King ended up being down and he was having some issues with it as well. So, and a few other little stations and stuff like that. So they were all having problems. So they were down. Let's see what else was going on in this world, this lovely world of ours. Um, well, Disney, of course, Disney. If you haven't heard this yet, I mean, Toy Story, Frozen, Zootopia. I mean, how many of us grew up on Disney and just loved Disney growing up? Some of us may not love them so much anymore, but they're coming up with remakes of those, along with laying off 7,000 people. 7,000, I guess, in the what do you call it? 7,000, I guess, managers and stuff like that. But I mean, when they lay them off, they're not going to be just say, it's not like when you and I get laid off. It's no, they get laid off with a big severance package. So they're going to be being laid off with something, right? So we have that. And the death toll, God bless, sending out prayers and love and light to Turkey and Syria. Death toll is up over 16,000. So, we got all of this happening in the world. And a lot of unexpected energies coming in. But I mean, is it unexpected? I mean, you and I all know I've been talking about, the astrology for some time. And this is such interesting time. I mean, especially astrologically. I mean, we have the stars are saying, it's much like, in some places spring weather, um, rather than winter right now. I mean, the weather's been really crazy, especially here in Calgary. Um, and so we have a lot of sort of weird things going on within our own world. And we also have three conjunctions, and these are the personal planets. So we have Mercury, Sun, and Mars all coming up to some major, I mean, Venus, not Mars, Venus coming up to some conjunctions here. And these are like these are major. So let's just unpack this a little bit and talk about it and how this is going to affect, how you can work with this. We have Mercury. Mercury's letting go of old attitudes and judgments to make way for new ways of looking and integrating into the world. Venus is letting go of illusions that are around us about love and relationships and what you expect from them, and to build something stronger, more realistic, and get somewhere where it's grounded and solid and ones for the future. The Sun, letting go of old identities that you've outgrown and matured before beyond, to step into more powerful authoritative roles. So there's a few, there's a little bit of intensity with them because when you get into conjunctions, I mean, they're right there in your face. So this energy is coming right into your personal space and how that is going to affect you within your personal space. So especially when it's, personal planets, it's like right here. It's affecting your world. If it's, the outer planets, it's more of a psychological effect. How does it fit, affect me psychologically? How does it affect the way I'm thinking? And how is my processing and entering into um the world of how I see things, and is that true in how I see things? Now, there are a few more prominent or intense energies that are afoot, right now. And in many ways, I would like to, try and I want to really put this on a very positive note, with everything. There's a lot of unsettling news, and we're being blasted with so much unsettling news and pushing the limit of credibility to new highs and lows. So much that is coming out is very much um we're questioning a lot more than what we used to be. With the Nord Stream um explosion that happened. I mean, an 84-year-old, now I got to get his name because this is going to bother me. Um, he came out and he was talking about the sabotage of, I gotta get the information here. So, Seymour Hirsch is his name. Seymour Hirsch. Look him up. He's 84 years old. He's quick as a whip, and he published a huge expose of the sabotage of what happened in the Nord Stream pipeline, proving that a certain country is guilty and that Norway was their accomplice. And Hirsch spoke to unnamed sources who he claimed to have had firsthand knowledge of the mission. Now, this is a man who's been around for 84 years. I mean, he's knows people, and he's a journalist. He goes out and he digs up shit and talks to his, this person and that person because he has those connections, right? So it's so interesting, but he's being discredited, and they've tried to discredit him in the past, especially with things that he's published about the Vietnam War. But every time that they've tried, I mean, they just can't. They just can't, because he published things about the massacre in Vietnam, and Abu Ghraib prison scandal in Iraq. So he's legit. He knows what he's talking about. So there's people like that are out there getting truth out there, getting information out, right? But sometimes you're going to have to dig for it. It's like all of these outages that are happening too. There's there is there it's pretty crazy, right? So with this energies that are coming in, let me go back to my other notes. With these energies that are coming in, this is really getting us to take a very deep look. There's going to be more division is within people, polarized depending on their level of awareness. And bringers of the light, which is you and I and love, it's our job to gently teach them. It's our job to really demonstrate soft, loving compassion in many cases and tolerate the lack of awareness. It's not for us to go out there and judge and throw stones at them. This is that we love and care in addition to the public at large. And it's not a small task. It's sometimes very difficult. There's many people out there who've really tried to stand up and talk and have been bashed and put down and threatened in many, many different ways. So it's no small task, but it undoubtedly, I feel it's a path. It's a path that is part of our evolutionary um, ascension, climb, whatever, for us to get there, and to get there to so that we are able to stand tall, and that we are able to stand with that of the divine, of the Father. Now, we have with these energies that are coming in, especially with the sun is going to meet up with Saturn, and Venus is going to meet up with Neptune, and Mercury with Pluto today. And this conjunction that's happening brings, well, tomorrow, happening with this is it's bringing up pictures of what is happening now and trying to put them in focus. So we have the sun, Mercury, and Venus are all what we call dying. They're dying. It's the balsamic conjunctions into the slowing planets. They are ending, finishing, completing, and resolving an evolutionary intention that began with the conjunction a year ago. So the thing is that everything has phases, everything has energy, like from a full moon to a full moon, or from a new moon to the full moon. So from the new moon of Leo last year to this full moon is a completion, right? Or from the full moon in Leo to the new moon is in Leo is another set of completions. So we're in this ending, finishing, completing, and resolving evolutionary intentions that began with this almost over a year. So this is where we start to look at the seeds that we have sown, and a year ago have grown and evolved and changing their sign and form and nature, ideas, relationships, business, etc. This is like, some flowers are annuals, they grow very quickly, some are multi-generation, and they takes time in growing. Now, if you take a look at what was going on in your life almost a year ago and where you are now, what has changed? What did you go through last year? What were the transitions and changes that you had to make last year? And this is where you start to sort of take a very deeper look. And these three conjunctions um, occurs in the last three of the cosmic signs. So we're looking at things completing in Capricorn, Aquarius, and Jupiter, and Pisces. So these are all very much ending, and this is also where we are also planting new seeds, to the impulse, the desires to seek and manifest something more. So this is very worldly, on the world scene. This is certainly in our own private lives. This is our celestial spiritual beings and uniting our intentions and where we want to create something new. This is very powerful energy that we have right now, and very powerful energy that is bringing in such transformation and change for us all. And through this change, this evolutionary change that we are going through, is allowing us to be able to see things more clearly, helping us to hear, you know, um, and helping us to be really setting our intentions more clearly in what we want to be creating within this lifetime. And that's where I feel like, especially with that Venus and Neptune conjunction coming in, is, we really got to watch the propaganda, the falsities, um, the pieces that lead us down somewhere that we don't want to go, you know? So we are heading in some crazy directions at this time, and unknowns, you know, in the world around us. But we have to keep our faith, and we have to keep our strength in moving forward. That is a key one. Um, just looking at a few other things. I think that Mars, Pluto, or today the Mercury aspects, and today with Mars, and tomorrow with Pluto. Mars is the lower ego, and Pluto is the higher will and power. And at best, they help us to take action and deal with things. I feel like there's a lot people are not going to be dealing with things, are not going to be wanting to deal with things. I think people are kind of fed up and dealing with shit, and really are wanting to have it's just something more, like they're looking for something more. And I feel like this is where at this time it's again, it's our, stepping into our higher will, our power. And this can manifest as power struggles, intensity in communication, um, rigidity in thinking, and mental tension, and more. So we got this that's there, and we're now out of the backward shadow of Mercury, but not quite yet on the back end shadow with Mars, and the underworld journey of the mind and the intellect and the will and the drive has been pretty epic, particularly when through the retrograde. So this is where we have gone through some real crazy battles in the last little while, and a lot of different transitions coming in. And I think a lot of our dealings with and our connecting the dots today from, I'd say, January 17th to January 20th, some of the things that were going on there, and some of the major aspects that were coming in, especially with the Mercury and Mars aspects and with the quincunx at that time. This is really, it packs a punch. There's this energy, and I feel like, a lot of us are feeling beaten down, feeling overwhelmed. Again, it's that communication, the struggle, the power. And this is where we really have to dig deep in what we need to do for ourselves, whether that is with a therapist. This is with our own research, investigation, getting to the truth. We are having to be willing to see and face truth, and we don't want to see or face when it's revealed, and it may not be pretty and perfect or ideal. And I feel like even for my own self in this last year where it was just I'm the person that will go and just get things done. Let's just do it, right? Let's go, go, go. And then finally, after it's all happened and sort of the dust settles, I can sort of take a moment and really reflect on a lot of things that I've been going through. And, it's like depression. There has been where feeling unmotivated, not wanting to do certain things or even deal with people, you know, um, just feeling very distraught with life. And feeling like sometimes everything gets pulled from underneath you at times, like you're trying to create something or make things happen within your world, but every turn has been a turn of like you're banging up a door. So you finally stop and you say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. I can't continue to be feeling beaten down and feeling that struggle. I need to look at the world in a different way and step into it. And there's huge adjustments. There's adjusting in that, in the way that you feel. You got to adjust with the guilt that you may be having. Uh, there's so much, to of the lack, the not feeling good enough and the whole thing, right? So there's quite a bit of adjusting. And I think where even from 2019, explaining to everybody what I was, what was coming forward, and, then starting to lose a lot of clients, and a lot of people sort of shun me, and to a month ago losing my whole um, base of people from my community, as like Facebook or not like Facebook, whatever it was, but building a community there, and especially a business platform there, that was just gone in an instant. And if you don't think things like that can happen, that's where this, especially where Pluto is, you think it's like something's going to be like slow. No, it's gone. It's gone. And this is where, right now, especially where, my Venus is in Scorpio, and um where Pluto is. I mean, and where my Mars is. Oh my God, he's going to be squaring this. This is like a Pluto Mars square and a Pluto. Just it's not quite as square with my Venus. Almost. I mean, we can call it a square because she's at the end of Scorpio, the beginning of Sag. So we have this energy, for me, this energy of, okay, you got to stand in with your values. And the thing is that when you look at where Venus is right now, she's exalted. She loves being in Pisces, and you look where your Venus is in your sign and where anything is at 29 degrees in your sign. And that's where a lot of things will be hitting. So for me, it's that intensity of Venus in Scorpio. Like it's intense. Like I put it like she's this, trying to put up her boundaries and just, and Scorpio's like, what are you doing about this? What about this? Blah, 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 blah. And, constantly on her. And she's like, oh my God, give me space. I can't handle this, and trying to find that, where you need to be, where's that space that you need for yourself, and creating it. And sometimes you feel overwhelmed or bombarded by other aspects or the world around you, and family and community, or that expectations. And so you feel like this is, oh, well, I have to do this, and then things happen around you. I feel, for me, that's pretty much is what's been going on. And even though I know that when I applied for this one job, I was going to get it. I was told, apply. I did. I know my guides are leading me to somewhere better, but it's difficult. It is difficult for me at this time. It's difficult, you know, um, creating this new road. But the thing is that with Pluto he knows that it's difficult. He understands that it's difficult. And Mercury is basically, at the end here with Pluto. Like this is going to be one of the, um, like he's going to come back and meet Pluto again. But this is kind of like, I feel like this is the final hurrah of, and especially when Pluto goes to 29 degrees, of saying, okay, what you're going to be here. You're going to stick with this. Okay. I know you've gone through a lot. I know you've gone through a lot of recreating and structuring. I mean, from where Pluto was in Sagittarius, and moving to a new city, to a new place, and from 2007, where it was a buildup for me to build a new foundation for my family, for my, for people around me. And this is where I'm at the end of saying, okay, I've built the foundation for my family as best as I can. Now it's like time to really start looking at stepping out into the outward part of where I can build a stronger community for myself and for those around me. And that's going to be a big one. There's Mateus. So it is a part that I think we're all going through, of rebuilding, or restructuring. And we are going to see things happen so quickly that there's no explanation of change. Like it's going to be bang, it's gone. That's what Pluto does. It's gone. Now what are you going to do? It's like the earthquake, unfortunately, in Turkey, and in Syria. It's like bang, it's gone. Okay, now what? You got to put the bootstraps on and get going. And sometimes you may feel like you don't want to. It's very taxing and overwhelming. And that's what we're heading into. We thought, everything that happened in 2019 and 2020, and, was, oh, that was hard. No, that was nothing. That was just the trial. Now we're setting in to the actual work, to setting into even deeper into building the foundations of the structures, because the towers are crumbling. and new structures have to be built and new foundations have to be there. And we, as light workers, have to do the work. And sometimes we have to honor ourselves and taking time for ourselves to do things that are kind and gentle and loving for ourselves in order for us to really build, um, to continue to build that foundation. And I think that's where I'm at right now. It's building that new foundation. It's building something new, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'm not sure how it's going to look, but it's where some things that when people mention to me, I'm just like, no, I I'm tired. I'm tired. You know, I'm today, I mean, well, today I'm physically tired, but I think tired over this whole year, and we're coming up to the 1 year anniversary with what happened to Steve. And it's like, wow, that's that's been a lot. And I know some people have had things happen and they just get up and they walk away. And right now, I think I'm at a point in my life I said, I just don't want to get up and walk away. I really want to work deeply with harmonizing the energies inside myself so I can shine brighter, so I can be stronger, so I could be more of a divine help for others. And that's really, especially with, um, Mercury, the one and only conjuncting with Pluto. I mean, tomorrow, this is the best, to dig deep. This is where we're facing a lot, and a lot of truth is going to be revealed. Because, at first we may not know exactly what Mercury and Pluto are saying. It comes over time. And it is over this next year that a lot is going to be revealed to us with what Mercury has to say, and with what Mercury has to reveal to us as he passes through and goes by each of the planets, and he drops a little note here and a little note there. This is energy, that a path of towards healing. The truth can set you free, but first, it might piss you off. And this is even more meaningful right now. And with Mars and Pluto, oh man, there's anger, rage, submerged, repressed energies around this. This is intensity. This is like big energy shifts coming in. And um, this is the cosmic weather, so we got to navigate this through our consciousness. It's going to sleet outside, and I want to know that. I want to know that I need to have an umbrella. I want to know that I need this is what the astrology does. This is like letting you know that you need, when you use to validate fear or create an um, worry, it's not useful at all times, which of course brings us back to the focus on our minds. So this is about how we really think about things, and help us to co-create our reality so that we can have something greater. And Mercury's playing out today and tomorrow. Like, this is intensity, not only within our own world, but we're going to see the intensity in the world around us, and things being played in ways that we never thought would be played that way. And it is a crazy playground right now of some landmines. Not gonna lie, there's some landmines out there that we got to take some precautionary, as we are walking through these different minefields, and looking at, okay, these are the things I need to face, and this is the truth of the matter of um, of what's going on in my life and what's happening in the world. So, uh, I don't want to leave you on that note, but it's a world that we have to surrender to the divine, and surrender to the Father. K. Pacha wrote, I love this. He says, "I have an important decision to make that affect both myself and others. As I can't see all and wish to stand tall, I will ask for help of the Father. That was from K. Pacha. And that's the whole thing. You got to ask help from the Father. And the Father is coming in strong, and the Father is bringing in much. We have, it is the sky god. The sky god is the Father, right? So this is part of his mantra is what he was saying. It's like the sky god is the Father. This is the cosmic collective perspective. And so it's planting our seeds on what needs to be planted at this time. So sending you out with so much love. I just feel like there's just a lot that's happening. A lot. It's not to scare you, but there's a lot. Take your journal, write things down. Like there's a lot of unpacking we all have to do, and in doing that unpacking is really quite a cosmic undertaking for us all. But when we do it, Pluto always has a gift for us. So remember that Pluto always has a gift for us. So when you're doing this work and it's crazy and it's hard and feeling fucked up as it is, Pluto always has a gift because he knows that, hey, you've done the work, you're going through this. So it's time for us to really buckle down and buckle up and do the work that we're going to do. So be kind to yourself out there. It's going to be fucked up. It's going to be crazy. We're heading into some really gnarly energies. So embrace, love, and, ask the Father and the angels for help and guidance. Blessings, everybody. And hopefully we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.